Hello everybody and welcome back to Operation Logistics, where we are ready to start implementing pickup and deliver. So, if our entered building equals birth, then we're going to want to drop off everything in the vehicle, right? But also, we're going to need a couple of things. Let's check to make sure we've already got a list of parcels that we're carrying. Okay, in our vehicle balance, I'm pretty sure we've already got our vehicle capacity set up. So where is our balance? Here it is. Vehicle cargo capacity in meters cubed. What about weight? Do we want a capacity for weight as well? I think we do. Public float vehicle weight capacity, and then this would be weight capacity in kilograms. Sure, why not? Well, actually, let's take a look at our parcel quick. Here we go. And we've got our volume and our weight, but in our business balance, not sure if that's in balance or business at this point. Oh, there's so many things to keep track of. I think it's in balance. Yeah, business balance, right here. So, per kilogram. Yes, we are charging on the per kilogram level. So, our weights are indeed in kilograms. Excellent. Okay, so the next thing we want is to make sure that our vehicle weight capacities are set up in the inspector. And the question is, how much capacity does a delivery vehicle hold? We've only got 10 cubic meters, and we can hold... Well, what's our relationship in the balance between volume and weight? So it looks like the weight is around 2 to 4 times, though in this case, it's 8 times. Okay, so the weight is pretty much always going to be higher than the volume. Not necessarily always, but pretty close to it. And I think around 10 times might be the sweet spot. But 100 kilograms doesn't seem right for 10 cubic meters. I mean, you figure, if you're transporting water, each cubic meter is approximately a ton. So that would be a capacity of 10,000 kilograms. Now, I think that's a little bit high. I know there's a regulation. Max weight capacity of a semi. Weight maximums are 20,000 pounds on a single axle, 34,000 pounds on a tandem, and 80,000 pounds for any vehicle or combination. There's a maximum width of 8.5 feet and no maximum height. Okay. So that gives us something to work with. 20,000 pounds on a single axle. So what's that in kilograms? 20,000 pounds to kilograms. That's about 9,000 kilograms. So we're actually pretty close here. We'll round that to 9,000. And then we will say for a 34,000 pounds on a tandem, or 80,000 pounds on, or 80,000 pounds total for any vehicle or combination. Okay. So 12k on steers, 34k on drives, 40k on spreads, total 86k. So like 80k. So trucks can take higher than that, but legally speaking, 80,000 pounds is about what we're looking at for a maximum for a truck, which is about 36,000 kilograms, give or take. So we'll go with 36,000. Okay. Well, there's that setup. I did not mean to minimize Unity. Instead, I wanted to head into the vehicle at this point, and we need to do a couple of things here. So we've got our upkeep cost that we're getting. We want to set up 2 gets, however, and that is public float current capacity. Actually, we'll call it current volume capacity. And then we'll just leave that for now. Public float current weight capacity. Okay. So, then we want to essentially sum the volume of everything in the parcel. So, float sum equals 0f, return sum, and then in between that, we want to do an iteration through here. I'm going to avoid a for each loop because we've already got garbage collection problems. For int I equals 0, I is less than, what are we looking for? Carrying dot count I++. Okay, so at this point, we want to say sum plus equals carrying I dot volume. There we go. And that will sum up our current volume capacity at any given time. We want to do the same thing with the weight, so float sum equals 0f, return sum, and then here for int I equals 0, I is less than carrying dot count I++, and then we just want to say sum plus equals carrying I dot weight. Okay, so now we can get our current volume and current weight capacity. Actually, instead of calling it capacity, I'm just going to call it current volume and current weight. Okay, so next, when we pick up and deliver, let's go ahead and say that, well, our berth is always going to be where we drop it off, right? Well, not necessarily. We might have a sorting facility along the way that we drop it off at. So, we should say bool drop off, like this. We'll have that equal false. No, we'll just pass in bool drop off. And then we'll say false. However, actually we'll do bool drop off here as well, equals false, not alse, false. There we go. And then this here can go ahead and just be drop off. And then if entered building dot type equals building type, actually, if entered building dot sorting capacity, do we want this to automatically happen? Do we want to be able to control it? Like, for example, drop off 10% of your cargo here. How do we set that up in the route? Do we have, like, controls for the node? That would be a fair amount of extra work, but would also be a fair amount better. I think what I'm going to do is I'm going to go ahead and put that in as a to-do. And we will come back to that when we revisit this later on. So I'm going to put that in as a to-do and have it be ability to control whether and or how much a vehicle drops at a given sorting facility along a route. because that would be substantially better. So for example, if you have a bunch of post offices along a route, they have a low sorting capacity, so you don't want to overwhelm them, but maybe you want to spread out the load so that they can all sort a little bit, you know? I don't know if that's something you actually want to do, but you should be able to do it. So for right now, if entered building dot sorting capacity is greater than 0, and we will do to do. Make this controlled by the waypoint on this building. There. So, if entered building.sorting capacity is greater than 0, then drop-off equals true. For now. We will come back to that once we have actual controls on our waypoint. So, in our pickup and deliver, if drop-off, in our building, do we have a list of parcels? And we don't seem to have the building open. In our building, do we have a list of parcels? We do not appear to. Here's the second question. Do we want an owned building subclass of building? That we can put onto our... Yeah, actually we do want that, because that would allow us to control whether a lot of these things happen or not, depending on whether it's an owned building. We absolutely want that. So let's go ahead and go into our scripts folder here in the core, and let's go ahead and create a C# script, owned building, like that. And we will make this a subclass of building. There's no argument given that responds to the required formal parameter of manager of building. Right. We need to implement the constructor. So where's our... Oh, come on. It hit it again. There we go. Where's our constructor at? Here it is. Okay. So we would then want this to be owned building. Why is that not working now? There's no argument given that corresponds to the required formal parameter manager. It's right here. Oh, is it because these things are private and maybe need to be protected? Protected. What else do we have that's maybe private? Protected override void start is fine. Okay. Well, at any rate, we will come back to that, because what we need to do at this point is we need to go ahead and take the on hour tick, or rather on minute tick here, and we need to only do this right here in an owned building, and this in an unowned building. So we can do this, and we can do public override void on minute tick in here. Public override void on minute tick. We're not going to base dot on minute tick, but instead we're going to do that. Okay, and then here we can do public list parcel sorted parcels and public list parcel unsorted parcels, like that. And now we don't have to allocate this list for every single building. And in fact, there's quite a few things that we're probably going to want to move out of here. I mean, vehicle storage type, we'll want to move out of there. I suspect, anyway. Maybe not, actually. Anyway, it is time to put a cut in here, so I'm going to go ahead and do that. Next episode, we will finish switching over to owned building on building prefabs that we construct. Subscribe for more, and I will see you all next time.